And then, of course, you get to Howard Gardner with his multiple intelligences. He took it up to 11. Increasingly, as we open our minds in the educational world to questions like identity, cultural diversity, I think we're understanding that intelligence is situated as well, geographically, culturally, historically. So it's not a single construct. To come back to the end of your question, if you like, I think a school with an assessment system that allows as many different intelligences to flourish as possible is what we should be aiming for. And I think that would not only liberate gifts in young people. Some of those gifts aren't recognized today because they're branded as having special educational learning needs, when in fact those learning needs are masking gifts that aren't allowed to flourish in school. Some young people drop out of school because they want to be entrepreneurs, or they want to do something that's away from this rigid academic straitjacket. So already we'd be really nurturing much more potential in young people. But it's even more fundamental than that, because you get to the world of work, and I think that needs to change too. Right now, we're in a very conventional approach to recruitment in general. Not all organizations function the same way, and a lot of startups are actually breaking this model. But it's about your CV, it's about the job description, it's about whether you fit into what the organization is looking for. When maybe what we should be saying is, how can we as an organization become richer because of the interesting, diverse gifts that you can bring us? So that starts at school, and we move away from this industrial model, which is the conveyor belt, into something that is much richer and organic, like an ecosystem. I think will actually change society, the world of work, really fundamentally. And you were talking about World War III. If we're really going to dream, then perhaps an education system like that, and a sociological premise which is genuinely based on diversity and inclusion, which means that we recognize gifts that people have, and we're not trying to make them all the same. Maybe it would help create a more peaceful world too, because the way that we approach problems, the way that we look at one another would be different.
Absolutely. And now that we discussed the assessment and its limits, and in relation to what you were just saying right now, I want to discuss a second, at least in my opinion, core theme emerging from your book. And this is very important to me because it also entails how we educate in higher education, and the perspective that, at least in my opinion, an ethically oriented type of university should take, that it's exactly the opposite of what neoliberals would suggest. But this is, again, my opinion. So the second theme, social advantage versus meritocracy.